Well, I believe that lacking of equipment lays on the both sides, and definitely, it's not a problem for Ukrainians to defend themselves. So, and the motivation is very, very high.
Zelensky is on his way to Washington, D.C., wanting, of course, to shore up support across the American political spectrum for his efforts to get more weapons and push back his Russian invaders. Some of President Zelensky's staunchest allies are, of course, in the Baltic countries, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania. This week, Rishi Sunak met with his Estonian counterpart to talk about the war. A short while ago, I spoke to Hanno Pevkur, who is the Estonian defence minister. I asked him if he thought Ukraine would get, as heavily reported this morning, the Patriot missile defence system it wants from the US.
Well, definitely, it is a good news what we are seeing at the moment, and definitely it will have quite a big impact in war theatre. Nevertheless, we have to understand that all these kind of new types of weapons or defense systems are something Ukrainians have to learn also. So it's not like that you just send something and then you can immediately use them. So I really hope that this shipment of Patriots will be also used in a proper way, and definitely we all understand that it helps Ukrainians, but still we need to keep continuing sending weaponry and defense measures to Ukraine, because they are still lacking a lot of artillery.
And the concern is that they'll need this for the new year, when the Ukrainian government at least fears that Russia could launch another ground offensive, maybe down through Belarus again and towards Kyiv. As things stand, would Ukraine be able to defend themselves from another attack like that if they are lacking equipment, as you say they still are?
Well, I believe that lacking of equipment lays on the both sides, and definitely, it's not a problem for Ukrainians to defend themselves. So, and the motivation is very, very high, and they have the capacity and the capabilities also in North Front, and I don't have any doubts about that.
Do you share their worries that Russia could be about to, in the new year, launch a new ground offensive?
Well, for that, definitely Russians have to bring more troops to Belarus, or Belarus will be in this full-scale war fully, and this is something what we have not seen yet, but we have to be looking into all the intelligence very, very carefully, and I'm more than sure that Ukrainians will do the same.
And are you concerned about the level of resolve around the world to continue helping Ukraine? And I'm also thinking about the UK here, because it was reported at the end of last week that the UK Prime Minister has asked for an assessment of the UK's military aid's impact in Ukraine. And senior government sources around this told the BBC that they were worried that the Prime Minister was taking an overly cautious approach to the war. Is that something you sensed?
Well, at the moment, I clearly see that there is a big unity among allies, and there is a clear understanding that we have to continue helping Ukraine, and definitely UK has been one of the biggest contributors here, and not only on the military aid, but also when we take the special fund which was created for helping Ukraine, and definitely we will see also the new shipments already from this fund or through this fund.
So that's the side of what's happening on the West. I wonder what you make of the situation in Russia at the moment. President Putin has pulled out of two of his regular winter opportunities to show off, as they've been characterised. His regular 4-hour-long press conference, that's not happening. Also, the ice hockey match, which he plays in every winter and somehow seems to win every year, that's not happening again. Many people have been saying for a while that they think he could be unwell. I wonder what your view is on that.
Well, we saw that he went to Minsk, to Belarus. So it's you can have different theories or speculations about that, but I'm more than sure that it will not affect anyway to the things happening in Ukraine, and definitely they will continue pushing on the front line and in the battlefield. So I'm not so optimistic that even when there are any kind of problems or Putin just doesn't want go to public, or he has nothing to say to his own public, then maybe it's just a tactical movement or move from his side that he will not just say anything, but he will continue his plans in Ukraine, and when he has something positive to say, then he will come out.
That's Hanno Pevkur, the Estonian defence minister, on the situation as he sees it in Ukraine.